Man, why you ain't say nothing about Shakur? How come you say nothing about Shakur? Oh, Shakur. Because there's nothing to really say. It's looking ugly out in these streets. Shakur Stevenson, why? Why? Ask why. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I am back with some more boxing. Now, some people have left me comments. Oh man, Ego, how come you not saying nothing about Shakur? Because I was the first one to talk about Shakur, and there's really nothing to say. What I'm seeing in the game right now is disgusting. Shakur put out a response, right? So somebody posted, Keyshawn Davis says he's going to Houston to spar Shakur Stevenson because he got him effed up for stealing his fights and is going to be live at Jay Prince's gym, right? To which you see on your screen, Shakur says, only gonna move off your blessing, brother. If not, go cook that ninja. Now, what he's referring to is a fight with Devin Haney, right? He's saying that he's not going to make a move and push for the Devin Haney fight unless approved by none other than Keyshawn Davis. What has the game come to? Now, something else, everything that I'm seeing from Shakur recently has been terrible, right? I've seen this on Ring, and it says, you want to know why Floyd Mayweather scares me so much? When I talk to him, he reminds me of me. What? Bro, what? You ninjas tripping. I'm not trying to be risking my life for the rest of my life via all the smoke. Wow. Now, Devin Haney and his father have said that they tried to make a fight with Shakur Stevenson, and he says 144 pounds, like meaning Devin coming from 47 to a catch weight, wasn't enough. Still, he don't want to fight. Dang, Shakur Stevenson. Wow. The game is looking putrid. So, the Shavengers is a group assembled by Shakur Stevenson, protectors of the boxing world, and this looks absolutely abysmal. So Shakur Stevenson looks extremely bad here, in my honest opinion. You had him put up this tweet to O'Shaquie Foster saying that Ray Ford would be O'Shaquie's nightmare, and he really didn't want to see him. Then it looked like the fight was going to happen. Then the fight got scheduled. He was picking O'Shaquie to lose. He said O'Shaquie is the B word. He said Ray Ford was going to beat him, and he was betting his house on Ray Ford to do that. Ray Ford got threw out of the ring like Jazzy Jeff. Right? Then he hopped back in the ring and proceeded to get whooped for 12 rounds by O'Shaquie Foster, or the remaining 11 rounds. Then O'Shaquie, being who he is, a true throwback fighter, said, hey, Shakur, you're ringside. Hop up in the ring. It had a whole face-off. Shakur looked huge, right? Looked huge next to O'Shaquie. O'Shaquie's like, I want that. You said I had to go through your mans. I did that. What's up? Then there's rumors Shakur could sign to Zuffa, which would complicate things given the fact that O'Shaquie is with Top Rank. Top Rank just did a deal with DAZN where Shakur had been fighting, right? So as you can see, things haven't really been looking amazing for Shakur Stevenson and the Shavengers. Ray Ford talked all that, got beat up by O'Shaquie, who Shakur kind of sicked on O'Shaquie Foster, right? And then when they had that confrontation in the ring, Shakur was like, man, I whooped you in sparring, I whooped you, right? This is what he was saying to O'Shaquie. I made you quit. And O'Shaquie was like, that didn't happen. I made you quit. So you had this conflicting story. But then Shakur does an interview with Andre Ward, for all the smoke. And he talking about how he was out of shape, going through relationship girl problems, and he wasn't ready in the first sparring, which O'Shaquie said wasn't even the first sparring. And then bottom line is it don't look like Shakur fighting O'Shaquie next, right? Maybe he signs with Zuffa. We'll wait and see. But then the Devin Haney conversation comes up where people are like, ooh, that's a good fight. Fight Devin Haney then, right? And then we're having trouble trying to get that fight going. So for the people asking, oh, man, talk about Shakur, there's nothing to talk about. The man keeps saying I'm the greatest, but won't fight his brother. So he's not going to fight Keyshawn or Ray Ford. Devin Haney fight doesn't seem to be going anywhere, right? Devin Haney even said, I'll drop down to 144 for you, which he doesn't have to do. Why he got to drop down to 144? Devin Haney's the champion off of a better win with Brian Norman. And Devin Haney has a better resume and has been undisputed, which Shakur hasn't, right? So this whole thing looks bad. 144 wasn't enough. Shakur said, this is the same thing y'all pull with Rolly, all these fake public negotiations. Real negotiations happen offline. I'm the truth. You will see when you get in front of me. Now, that's just the thing. It's about getting in front of you, and for whatever reason, it don't look like these fights are happening. So I'm really not interested. This is just like high school drama. Look, all this BS, let me stop rage baiting y'all. I got to stop. Oh, man, Keyshawn, I'm only going to move off your blessing. You know how weak that looks? Why do you need another man's blessing as a prize fighter to make your move? You see how weak boxing looks? You know, because of people moving like Shakur Stevenson, right? He doing pickleball videos. Man, come on, bro. You doing pickleball videos with girls. You cheerleading Keyshawn, calling out Devin Haney, telling Devin Haney he need to fight Keyshawn. People want to see you fight Devin Haney. You're a bigger name than Keyshawn. You know what I mean? You're the one that had the infamous Mayweather gym sparring. So I'm not moved by a lot of what's happening in boxing. And I told you, it's this new generation, Gen Z fighters. They are not holding it down. They are not holding the fort down. It's a lot of talk, a lot of speculation, and nothing's happening. Even the Zuffa announcement, where is it at? I get it. They got a White House card. So what? Why tease all that stuff? And then we're just sitting up here waiting for some type of update or announcement. Devin Haney reportedly getting $100 million deal by the age of 30 and all this stuff. Where's any of this? So boxing looks dry. Boxing looks whack. And as far as Shakur, he looks bad here, man, because, okay, give him a pass for the Devin Haney fight, even though it don't really make sense to, but let's say you want to do it. Okay, then why are you not fighting O'Shaquie Foster? So if you're not fighting someone better than these black American fighters like O'Shaquie or Devin Haney, who are you going to fight? And if it's not someone better, then people are going to clown you, right? You never rescheduled the fight with Floyd Schofield. Tank might end up fighting him, right? Okay, he pulled out. That happens. Many a fight have been canceled and then got rescheduled. So you could have did that in America and be like, oh, yeah, now since you did that, Floyd Schofield, fight me in Newark. You know what I mean? Fight me in New York. Let's run it. In the States, not Saudi Arabia, right? Could have rematched Edwin De Los Santos. I mean, I'm not going to do this all day. There's plenty of fights you could have had, but instead it's just internet talk. Internet talk and this Avengers. And you trying to sick Keyshawn on Devin. You trying to sick Ray Ford on O'Shaquie. And then you're making it like you're the key holder. You're the key master. You just get to call, you like the mob boss. You get to call out the hits and like, hey, Ray Ford, you take him. Keyshawn, you take him. And you just sit back and fight Teofimo, who hasn't really even had no great performances since, to me, Lomachenko, maybe Josh Taylor. But even Josh Taylor, I don't even know how good he was, seeing how he performed with Jack Catterall.